Hey, good afternoon. What day is it? Today's Friday. I had the day off, so I decided to continue working on the skirt pattern. I am like almost all the way through to the part where I'm just gonna stop recording and then just be like, hey, catch up with me. I have just switched over to a new skein. So far, I have this much. Is that the front? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that's the front. It looks pretty cool the way it is now. Pretty excited for the way that this will turn out. I just attached my second skein, and that's why it's attached right there. But I will probably be using this whole skein, and then I will be using all of this that I used for the leg warmers that I'm just never going to get around to. What I've done is I center pulled for the top, and then I found a skein that was very similar to that one, and I am doing the outer pull so that it will kind of like do an opposite gradient of this. Hopefully all I need is the two skeins. If not, then whatever, I'll figure something out. I technically have like 2.75 more skeins. I have one skein sitting on top of my computer desk because I kind of want to save it as like a in memoriam, just like the pink one, the Scene Queen one, just because like those are such pretty skeins, and I just want to keep them for a very, very, very special project, or just for like, I don't know, 10 years down the line, and then I can be like, look what I have, because like I'm kind of a collector. Because like Big Twist is being bought by Hirschner's. Hopefully they'll bring it back. I loved the color lines that they did. Hirschner's has its own like plain colored yarn, so I'm hoping that like that might not entirely be what they bring in. Hirschner's yarn, the acrylic yarn, is pretty good, so I wouldn't blame them for not bringing in regular Big Twist and just bringing in the colorways of like the Rave or like the Twinkle. I think Hirschner's has their own like kind of sparkly line as well, but theirs is kind of mixed with colors, whereas Big Twist was just like solid colors with metallic fibers in it. Speaking of yarn in general, I don't know if I said this at the end of my last video, but I'm thinking of extending my no spend, because at this point I still have tons of yarn and I have tons of ideas. I think the only way I'll spend yarn at this point is like if I have an idea and if I promise myself that I'm going to work on that idea. As in, I know I will be buying blue and yellow fabric soon, because those fabrics I will be using for a Fallout cosplay. Well, it's not going to really be a cosplay. It's going to be more of like a inspired by Fallout outfit. Maybe I'll buy more yarn, but at this point, I really, really don't need any more yarn. I am very, very low on bamboo cotton yarn, which I have recently learned that bamboo is actually not as environmentally friendly as I had thought. I do still really love bamboo, but I'm going to greatly reduce my use of bamboo yarn because of the chemicals used to treat bamboo. That is the reason why it is not actually as economically or ecologically safe. And that really sucks because I really love the texture of bamboo. I love how it's like cooling. I love that it like is wicking, I think that's the word. Cotton has a very similar thing, but it's not cooling. It's not naturally cooling. So I will be using more cotton yarns in the future as opposed to bamboo. And on top of that, I'll be saving money because bamboo yarns are mainly sourced in China, and we have big old tariffs. We're no longer at what was the highest price, 360%. We're no longer at that point anymore. The last I checked, it was 30%, and at this point, it's just, what can we do about it? Like, I can't keep up anymore. And I know that's kind of the point, is to tire us out, but also like, what can I personally do except for, I don't know, not spend money, which I'm already trying to do anyways. I do kind of have a plan to make some sleeves in my like little pile of patterns. I just don't have fabric for it right now, and I'm planning on going out to a thrift store and thrifting some bed sheets, old bed sheets. I do have some bed sheets back here, but like they're not a color that I would typically wear. I mean, I have a dark gray one that I might wear, and maybe I can like do some embroidery on it or something because I have been wanting to get into embroidery. I've been telling myself to get myself into embroidery, but I just haven't been brave enough to do it yet. I do know that I do like white and black like fabrics, so I kind of want like an ethereal sleeve going. So that's something I'm looking into when it comes to fabric purchasing. I just want to get a whole bunch of bed sheets. I know the microfibers in it for most like bed sheets that you buy. It kind of gives you a static electricity, but in the summer it's pretty pleasant. Like sometimes it's cooling. I think they do have bamboo sheets out there, which I'm going to like, if I find it at a thrift store, I'm 100% buying it no matter what color or shade it is, because I really, really do love the fibers itself. But if it's not like in the store, or if it's like, you know what I mean, right? Okay. Anyways, we're going to keep on working on this until I grow tired of this. And then I'll probably see you later tonight. I don't know. I have a 5 a.m. shift, so I might just close out today with showing you guys how far I've gotten. Like I've already showed y'all pretty good work so far. And then, yeah, it's 9:47. And you know what I miss? I miss being able to go to Walmart at midnight because it's just, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable going out and on a walk on my street. Like I live in a pretty safe neighborhood, so I'm not too worried. I'm just like worried about what the neighbors think. And then on top of that, I'd feel guilty for bringing my dogs along or not bringing my dogs along because I don't want to get them all riled up and all that jazz. But I do really, really miss like just being able to go to Walmart and not buying anything. We literally would just hang out at Walmart, and I understand why it's not a thing anymore. I just I miss having a late night third space where I could like kind of just roam and look at things and not feel like I could maybe die. I don't know. It's like there's always that risk of going to Walmart late at night and then a crazy person coming in. I've had my fair share of talking to strangers that could have probably like been a threat, you know? But yeah, I took a nap. I was trying to sleep through the night to like 2:30 or something so that I could just go to work an hour after that. But I slept for 2 hours and my body was like, "No, it's time to wake up. You don't normally sleep in this early." So, here we are so far on this skirt. It's turning out pretty well. The only thing I do notice is that like as it's working up, it's not giving that pleated effect like the normal plain skirt would have. And that's fine. It is what it is. Like if you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. But the drape of it is much better than the other skirt that I made, so that's pretty neat. Yeah, I had that thought and feeling recently because I don't know. I feel a little bit cooped up, but not really. Like I went to the mall recently, the Melbourne Mall, and it's like I'm not trying to like promote capitalism. I didn't really spend any money. My husband spent money for me, but like also I feel like he felt obligated to spend money on it. But that's definitely a third space that I feel has been dying and people don't really know how to utilize that third space, and I think too many people are getting a little bit too, I don't know, touchy about it. I still try to avoid spending money where I can. I just like hanging out at the mall because it brings back memories of when I was a kid of just, I don't know, I didn't really have many friends as a kid, but I did have some friends, and those friends like that was our meeting spot because where else would we meet? It's the state of Florida. It's too hot to meet anywhere outside. We were too poor at the time to have Disney as our meeting spot. I know there's a lot of kids in the Orlando area where their meeting spot is the Disney parks. And like, holy cow, what an expensive expensive meeting spot. But for a lot of people, that was it, the mall. And just hanging out, probably causing a ruckus. There used to be arcades in the mall, and that was like an interesting time. The one that I grew up near, the Lakeland Square Mall, the Hot Topic currently used to be where the arcade was, and that's where I first played DDR, I believe. I either first played it or first like learned about it. Maybe I didn't play it as a kid because it cost money, and at the time I was like, "Oh, I only want to play games that give me tickets so I can win prizes." I'm feeling really nostalgic about stuff like that. I just miss having a third space and having friends that share something in common with me that's not just, I don't know, driving all the way out to a theme park and baking in the hot sun. I love the theme parks, but I also love the AC, and I love crochet, and I love music, and I love DDR. So hopefully I'll get this done. Well, I don't know. I have quite a bit of yarn left. I'll probably get through this skein tonight because I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to fall asleep. I'm trying to tire myself out by listening to kind of like boring YouTube videos and like just staring down at this project. I'm at a point now, like after I finish this row and like record it real quick, I'll be done recording until the very last rows where I'll just like show off where like you should stop or how wherever you feel comfortable with, you know? And then I'll have a new skirt to wear on whatever day we plan on going out. I don't think we have any plans this week yet, at least. I don't know if we'll go to Universal anytime soon because they're still setting up for Grad Bash, I believe, or Grad Venture. Grad Venture is the middle school one. Grad Bash is the high school one, and usually that finishes up. It's June, so it should be done. So the HHN stuff should be starting to like wheel out soon, but that's usually stuff I go out after work to check on. We've been planning on trying to do more indoors activities, but the thing is, like, every indoor activity involves spending money, like going to, I don't know, the bar, and I don't drink, so that's not something for me. Like, I'll drink a little bit, but like, it kind of makes me feel gross if I drink. I usually just take edibles, and then sometimes like I won't have any, so like I'll be really uncomfortable the whole entire time because it helps me like calm down when I am not sober, which really sucks because like I hate that I have to be dependent on stuff like that to go out and have a good time. But it's not that I'm addicted to it because I didn't take any today. Like, I'm not feeling any repercussions. It helps me not focus on things. It's a lot like Adderall for some people, where you can just focus on one thing. For a neurotypical, they're able to like get things like one project done, whereas for us neurodiverse ADHDers, it helps us like drown out any extra sound, and that's basically what that is for me. It helps me drown out any extra sound, and it helps me like take one like thing I can hyperfixate on and just do that for a very long time. Just wanted to give you guys an update on what's going on. Once I finish this, I will show you guys where I'm at, and if I do need to do another skein, I will start putting another skein on. And if I don't, yippee, I have 1.75 skeins left. Going back to like having a night place to hang out, like, or somewhere to hang out at night, I think that's why I love HHN so much, is that like I'm a night owl. I've always sort of been a night owl. I've never done well in school because of the hours, and I can't remember what the term is called, but my internal clock is kind of broken as opposed to people who are morning people. Early bird gets the worm, but also, in a way, I am the early bird, as in, I'll be there before you're even awake. Like, if something releases, like at midnight, I'll be there early, you know? That was another thing about, like, the 90s, or I, I say the 90s, but more like the 2000s. I was, like, I had so much energy for the midnight releases. I had so much energy to go and watch movies at the midnight releases. I don't know if that's still a thing. I don't really like go to the movies, but it's just something, some kind of the culture that I feel part of is being a night owl. And I've always been like kind of like drawn to vampires and all that because of how much of a night owl I am. And I believe that is 100% one of the biggest reasons why I love HHN so much is because it's a nighttime thing. I've always worked jobs, well, not always, but I've always tried to work jobs where I would be there at night and not have to deal with like morning traffic or all that. I've always been drawn to doing like well, I've never been a bartender, but I've worked alongside bartenders. I've worked alongside servers. When I'm at work, I try to ask for the night shifts, even though they reserve it for the younger people or the newer people in the business, because that's kind of part of the totem pole aspect. But I don't mind doing the night shifts. It's always been part of my like, I don't know. It's in my blood to do night shifts. And I I know that's part of the reason why I've been like really upset lately is the fact that my schedule has been flipped. One of my favorite managers who moved up to New York recently. I hope you're doing well, Jordan. Um, she would always try to make sure I was on night shifts, and if there was like a 5 a.m. shift, she would try to like find somebody else, which is going way above and beyond for me. I like a lowly peasant, you know. And to be honest, like the managers, the leaders, whatever, they're basically just being treated as lowly peasants too. Let's be honest. It's corporate. Corporate only cares about you if you're CEO and maybe like two steps below CEO. But she always made sure I was on night shifts. She was almost always on night shifts too. So like it kind of worked out that we were both working together, and like maybe it's a part of favoritism, but also most people don't want to work night shifts. So why can't I get it? Like I remember when I worked at Publix for a little bit, I was working like all night shifts. I asked to do just night shifts. And then eventually I was like, hey, so I'm the only one that's like willing to do night shifts every week. I will work 4 10-hour days if you would like me to, please, because I'm starting to burn out at this location. And I ended up being denied for that. And I burned out, had a really bad fallout, and yeah, probably not hireable by Publix ever again, which is like, it sucks because that's one less job I can do. But also, it's what happens. Oh, shoot, what happened here? Dang, I accidentally cut that off. Oh well, a little leftover. I'll just put it in my little yarn stash. But yeah, that's just, I've always been a night person, and I feel like there's a lot more of us night people than others want to recognize. And why is it that everything's catered to morning people? Why can't we have like fun little things that we can do at night? I mean, we have all the shows, and I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, I can't go to these shows anymore because I'm just getting old and my body hurts and whatever, whatever." And like that's not what I'm like trying to get at, cuz those cost a lot of money nowadays. But like, why can't we have stores that stay open catered to the night shifters? My brother is also a night person, and he works third shift, and he also like, I believe he starts work at 11 p.m. and then he gets to work and then leaves at like 7 a.m. And I guess he's lucky that he can like stop at a place that early. But I'm like a little bit earlier than him, as in like I'll start work at 6 p.m. and then won't be off until like midnight. Like I prefer earlier sometimes just cuz like, you know, money. But like it's one of those, why can't I have things open when I'm off? Why is it only like these restaurants? And even then, like there's a lot of local restaurants that will close stupid early. And like I get it. They're also tired. I don't know. It's just there's a lot of us that are suffering because we're night shifters, and there's not things catered to us. And I'm not saying that everything needs to be catered to us, but like a lot of us prefer the dark. A lot of us, and I know that makes us weird, but like I feel like there's a lot of mental health issues that could be solved if we had stuff that was catered to not just the morning shifters, you know? This is unconventional, but I'm waiting to start work. I have like 30 minutes before I even start walking inside. And TikTok's kind of unbearable right now. I wanted to talk about Pride Month as a queer person, and as a queer person that had to hide who they were for the majority of their life. I don't think I really fully came to terms with being queer until I was like, 2021 or 2. Can't remember how old I was. I'm 33 now, and it's 2025, so 3 or 4 years ago. So late 20s, early 30s. But I am somebody who's been queer for much longer than that. And as I've said, I've had to hide that my entire life. I came from a really religious background. My mother was extremely religious. We used to have to go to church twice on Sundays, every single Wednesday. I've begged to not be taken to church before. I've begged to stay home so I can at least finish homework, and it was never a suitable answer. I was forced to go to church so often. And as a child that survived that, I want, like, if you're watching this, it's hard. It's really, really hard, but you have to hold on. It's not just like the being forced to go to church thing, but it's also like because you go to church so often, and like, I'm not trying to do this video to bash on religion. There are reasons to be religious. I understand completely why my mom is religious. I don't understand why she's a bigot. I do know that throughout my process of being raised in a church so strictly, I was told to hide who I was. I remember like thinking about and talking to my parents about being possibly gay, not even like telling them that I was, but like noticing that it was a possibility, and my mom like just saying that it's disgusting. I remember my first encounter with like a same-sex relationship. Isabella, if you're out there, I'm so sorry. I doubt you know or remember any of this. This is way back on MySpace, AIM days. I'm so sorry. But I do remember telling her that it was against my religion and that I couldn't date her. And it's something that, like, we shouldn't have to hide stuff like that. And although I am in a straight passing relationship, we are both queer. I am ace, pan-romantic ace. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to say what my husband is, because that's his story to tell if he so chooses to say. But I am an ace person who didn't come to terms with being ace until 2021, 2022. I remember being on a cruise with my husband, and we were chosen to do like this couples like questionnaire thing, and this is when I was like starting to realize what ace really was and why I've never felt the like desire to have sex. Like, I've done it before, it's just not pleasurable to me. And let me tell you how much I studied so that I knew what I was supposed to do. Like, I knew, like, this is gonna sound like TMI and really gross, but like, there's supposed to be like noises you make and like things that you do, and it just never made sense to me. And the more often that I had done it, the less interested in it I was. But like, going back to being like coming out, I was on a ship, we were doing a cruise questionnaire. We won, by the way. I don't have like, we won like little medallions or whatever, because like my husband and I are very tight and really close knit, and we talk about everything. But like, there was a question where they asked about like our sex life, and I had to admit that we don't do that I'm ace. And I felt so embarrassed for my husband because he's not ace. And I've given him the full permission to be who he wants to be. And if he so chooses and feels like he needs to do that, then I understand. I completely understand. It's no harm, no foul. It's permission on my side, yeah, it will be like a weird feeling, but I know that I can't provide that for him because I do not have that desire. It is not something that I desire to do ever. It's something that disgusts me. It's something that I've, like, every time I go watch a movie and there's a scene, which for some reason, every single movie I've watched in the past couple years, there's a scene, I have to, like, look down and away and be like, ew, how long is this scene? It's so gross. The whole idea of it disgusts me, and I know there's aces out there that make a whole bunch of sexual jokes. I am not one of them. I do listen to raunchy music because I was part of, like, the scene kid community, but it's just not, it's not for me. But I've always had an attraction as well, not just to males. I've only been in male relationships because of my religious background, because of the way I was raised. I wouldn't call myself religious. I think I lost all sense of religion back in like 2011, 2012, to be completely honest. I tried to hold on to it for a very long time because that's just all I knew. My parents were extremely religious. They're very conservative. And so I held on to that belief for so long, thinking that I had to be with a male partner. But I've always been attracted to both male and female. Like, for the longest time, I called it, like, being bi. And I know there's a kind of a difference between being bi and well, I'm not pansexual, I'm panromantic, which means I do have romantic feelings for people. I do long for that deep connection, which I do have with my partner, but I don't see gender. Like, it's based purely on vibes. It doesn't matter what's in your pants because I don't want that anyways. But I've always been attracted to, like, both genders. And now that I'm way more aware of the different kinds of genders, it's literally just a vibe thing. Like, if we vibe well, then I will, like, I'm attracted, but not in a sexual manner. I'm kind of ranting in this video because, like, I didn't write notes. I was planning on doing this when I got home tonight or tomorrow, but, like, I also didn't, like, I don't know. My For You page sucks right now, so I just really wanted to, like, talk about Pride Month and what it means to me and how I've always, like, kind of felt it. I remember one of my first times trying to get out into the community. It's, of course, at Disney because I'm in the area. It's the local, like, area, and there's just a lot more queer LGBTQ plus people in this area. And sometimes there's, like, celebrations where, like, I call it a sea of red, but a lot of guests wear red shirts to indicate that they're either in the community or an ally. And I remember my first time going, I was by myself because nobody else, like, I knew was part of the community. And I wanted to, like, I don't know, I wanted to show off that I was, but I wasn't really ready. And I think I remember somebody turning to their partner and looking at me and saying, I wonder if she wore that because of pride or if because she's actually part of the community. And it kind of really hurt my feelings, and it kind of, like, put me back in and, like, made me feel like I'm not good enough to be part of the community because I never had a partner outside of the male figure, and I was too scared to break away from my religion that I was raised in. And I have so many regrets. I have so many regrets of not, like, let me back up. I am very, very happy to be with my partner. I have regrets for who I was prior to accepting myself, who I am, what my identity is. I do go by she, they pronouns, although I lean more feminine. I have been feeling more tendencies of wanting more masculine androgynous style. I don't think that necessarily makes me non-binary. I don't agree with people having to feel uncomfortable in their bodies. And yeah, I keep on going on rambles because I didn't prepare at all. The only thing I prepared in my mind was planning on talking about being raised in a super conservative family and not being able to be open about my sexuality and only feeling okay about my identity within the past 5 years. So if you're in the community, or if you're closeted in the community and you feel that you can't survive, this is a testament that you can make it. It's really, really, really tough. And I can't tell you how much more important it is for you to be a survivor and make it out of there than it is to just end it. It's tempting. I know I've attempted multiple times, but you are much more worth what your parents have to say. You are so much more worth than what the church has to say. You matter more than what society thinks about you, because somebody out there will love you for who you are. We deserve better. This community, even though I'm a very small little blip in the community, I still feel welcomed in the community of the queer community. I won't even say the LGBTQ community. Specifically the queer community. I feel much more accepted now than I ever had when I was younger, growing up. And if you can help yourself, help find that queer community near you and reach out to them, because I know you deserve the love. Hey, happy Pride. It's actually Pride now. I had cute little makeup done earlier, but I have since taken a nap. And on top of that, we're getting our carpets upholstered at work, and the dust in the air has been so bad. I feel like I'm sick. I'm right now I don't feel sick, but at work it's just been really bad. My eyes were so itchy all stinking day. But it is the first week-ish of Halloween lines being dropped. I am not somebody that's trying to buy or purchase large amounts of Halloween stuff, and I'm not going to be a Halloween shopping person. However, I am a Halloween crafter, and I mean, oh, can you see it? There it is. Halloween, spooky. But speaking of, I'm so tired of Halloween ribbons and just in general crafts having spooky or boo or whatever. Just give us cute little designs. We don't need the words on them. It's so annoying. Anyways, I'm on Michael's right now because I thought of an idea. Ooh, I don't have a picture on me. It's in the bathroom, and the bathroom's occupied right now, so I'm not gonna go grab it. But I thought of this really cute idea where I make a sweetheart neckline dress with these puffy sleeves 1940s, and then kind of one of my favorite crop tops ever, and then attach it to the skirt that I was making 2 weeks ago that I was planning on debuting with the overskirt that I wore last week. But also I wish I had the picture to show y'all. Sorry, I had a whole plan on telling you guys about this, but when I came home I ate and then immediately took a nap because I was so sleepy, because they keep on putting me on morning shifts, and this whole week I don't have a shift because I think they purposely did this because they gave me a 5 a.m. 2 days ago, and they knew that I would most likely call out. I swear they did it on purpose. Anyways, the plan with that dress that I thought up of at work was to give it a little trim, because I have quite a few of this left over, and I don't know if it's enough to do the whole trim, so I'm thinking of buying some more through Michael's. It's such a pretty little trim. I don't know if you guys can properly see it. I proudly went to Michael's today and did not spend a single dime. So I purposely went in for this specific ribbon and maybe the white version of this. Did not have it. I went searching for other ribbons just in case there was something similar to it. They didn't have anything similar to it. I even went to the yarn section just to see if there was yarn I wanted. They did have a bunch of the Karen perfect phasing cloud cakes, but it's too hot for that right now. And I just don't want to buy anymore when I still have like 4 skeins left. So don't need it. Aren't you proud of me? I'm proud of me. I'm so proud of me. I'm still technically keeping myself on that like no spend this month, unless it's something I need, like medication, food, or something that I do immediately plan on using, such as this. Like, look at the shiny, so pretty. So this is gonna be the trim, and then like I was thinking, not up here, but maybe like at the bottom of a skirt, making it part of the bottom of the skirt. Maybe, I don't know. If I do the square neckline, it wouldn't be too bad. I don't know. But it's such a pretty little trim. And I'm thinking about getting that started soon. Oh, speaking of like sewing and all that, because I'm back in the sewing mode, and I think it's because I was upstairs and I had time to draw and think of new ideas. One of my coworkers, we get along. She's an older lady, and I love her to death. Most people don't like her, and I think it's a little bit of discrimination. She's older, she's disability, and like she's a little bit lonely. And I we talk about sewing all the time. She sews for her grandchildren, I sew for myself. So we're both into fashion sewing, and it's so nice because like anytime I meet another sewist, they're into quilting and I'm not into quilting. That's not something I'll ever be interested in. I know it's a big deal for some people. It's too much for me. I don't feel like making blankets. I don't make yeah, it's just too much math. Not for me. Although sewing fashion is math, but I'm not at that point of fashion yet. Anyways, we were just talking about like fabrics and all that, and how like we've lost our sewjo because Joanne is basically gone. Like a lot of times the reason why I would get into sewing is I would go into Joanne, look at the fabric selection and be like, ooh, I don't have a plan for this fabric yet, but it's cute, so I'll buy it and then I'll feel guilty and I'll use it. And so we were just talking about like going to the flea market, and she like kind of soft asked if we could go flea market shopping together, like the Auburndale one, because I was talking about doing that since I have this weekend off. I might go to the flea market, or I might go grifting. Ew, I'm not a grifter. Thrifting, because like I want more bedsheet fabric. I want something more like flowy. There was somebody that posted about a top that they made, and I asked them what fabric they used, and maybe they're just overwhelmed, but they didn't answer me. And I love the drape of it. I want more flowy fabrics. I don't necessarily want like bedsheet fabric just because the microfiber, like, I hate the static electricity that it gives, but I love the drape of most bed sheets. But anyways, not only did she like kind of invite me to hang out with her, I told her I can't do Thursdays. Wednesday is the other day she has off, which is a day that my husband and I normally spend together, but a lot of times he's been working that 6th day, so I don't see a problem with that. And I'm sure my husband would enjoy a day off by himself too, because sometimes I'm here a lot. Um, so she invited me, kind of. We just haven't set a date. And then on top of that, she has a serger that she's been trying to sell off for a while. Used less than 10 hours before somebody else in her, like, I don't know, her friend group offered to buy her a baby lock machine, is what she was saying. Maybe, I don't know. But she's offering to sell me that one serger for $200, and she's been offering for a while, and I just honestly forgot about it because I can't afford $200 in one go. But she's like, hey, what about $50 a month? And I'm like, I can do that. So that's another reason why I want to save money this month, is so that I can do $50 a month payment to her. And then eventually I'll get a serger. I told her, don't worry about giving me the serger until after like I make at least $100 payment, because like I don't think it's fair to her. Because like I know I'm trustworthy, but she doesn't, and like I don't want her to feel like I'm not trustworthy. So yeah, I I'm gonna make 2 months payment, and then she'll give me the serger, and then make 2 months more. I can do 4 months overtime, $50. So I'm very excited. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm gonna get a serger. It's gonna be so much easier to get everything done. Oh my god, I can't believe it's. I have a serger, and it's a Janome because my mom was like she was doing alterations for a little bit. I think before she met my dad, she was in the because like back in the day in the 90s, pre 90s in South Korea, the industry was fashion or textiles, maybe. I don't know. But it wasn't like right now, the big industry is technology, but also K pop and K drama. That's the industry right now. But back in the day, my mom used to do a lot of sewing and alterations. And I think one of my aunts, well, my uncle, his wife owned like a dry cleaner. Um, she owned one in the city that my mom's from, Hongju. So that's kind of like in her blood, dada, if you must, I guess. But yeah, so I have a Janome that I pretty much like inherited from my mom, but it's broken. So I haven't been able to use it, and I don't feel comfortable getting it repaired at this moment. It's super heavy, and I don't have like a good table for it or anything. So I'm just like letting it rot on the side for a little bit until I get better at sewing for the most part. Because, like, I do eventually want to sell clothes, but that's like way in the future. Like, I feel more comfortable making crochet clothes than I do sewing clothes because, like, at least with crochet clothes, like, I can look at a pattern and then just make it without having to, like, set down the pattern, cut it out of fabric or whatever. I do want to eventually make sewing patterns in the future whenever I get better at sewing, to be honest, but I don't think that's ever going to be. I mean, I don't think that it's not going to happen. I just don't think it's in my immediate future because I don't have the space for all that. And like, I don't have the knowledge of all that right now. I just kind of Frankenstein patterns, and I don't think that's really considered making my own pattern. I take patterns that I like and then just kind of attach it. So there's just so much that goes with that, and I just don't feel comfortable yet. I would, oh, hello. I would like to take sewing classes, and I think that I can through work, but I also don't know how to do all that. And I don't know. It's one of those. I just got to think about it. I got on here to talk about like buying more fabric, or not fabric rather, but like just more ribbon. So, like I said, I'm going to buy probably this and one in white. It's on sale right now. You can only get it online. Michael's started putting out all their Halloween collection stuff, and I'm not super tempted. They have a bunch of like dangles or whatever. This lace, I really want to buy more of this lace. I want to buy it in the white and black, like I said. I don't know what I want to do with the white or black. Oh, they do have it at other locations, but it's very limited stock. It's 40% off right now, and I might just get it shipped to me, to be honest, because I don't want to like drive all the way out somewhere and then just it not being there. When I go thrifting, I don't know if I want to go to the Winter Haven location because Winter Haven has a lot of thrifting areas and there's a lot of crafty people out there. So I'm thinking of that. But Lakeland's also a bigger city. And maybe I want to go out there. But also, it's not a much further drive, but it is more on the main interstate I-4. And if you know anything about Florida, if you know anything about driving, the I-4 is the most dangerous interstate in the world. And it terrifies me a little bit, not gonna lie. However, like, I know it's important for me to be on that road. It doesn't stop me from driving, but also it's just, I hate driving in general. So the less I can do, the better. I'm thinking about going out to Winter Haven this weekend. I don't know. This week, not tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. If I feel like dressing up tomorrow, then I'll go out, but I don't know. I want to go thrifting for sure because I can spend money again. I'm going to keep on looking through the Michael stuff, and I'll let you guys know if I buy anything. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. There's like bracelet jewelry making stuff, and I wish I could like show you guys pictures. Maybe I'll just show you right here. But like some charms that I want to purchase and like attach to the bottom of some of my crochet makes. I think that would be really cute. Or like just attach them to a necklace that I have. Most of the little charms, like I hate when the pattern is like this and then the charm like circle is on the same, because then it doesn't lay flat. So it's not good for necklace stuff, but it's kind of decent for like dangle pieces or like maybe sometimes bracelet pieces where it doesn't like necessarily need to do that kind of dangle. It's just one of my pet peeves. And to be charging so much money for them is kind of ridiculous when you can do the bare minimum and just twist the little hole, you know? A couple of the designs do have it a little bit twisted so that you don't like you can see the charm, but yeah, maybe purchasing some charms since I will be purchasing stuff to be shipped anyways. And then yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna keep on looking. And then maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna play Stardew Valley tonight. Good morning. It's now what day is it? Monday? And okay, so the only reason why I came on here was to tell you guys that FNAF has been officially announced. I think I knew about it last night, but I forgot to say anything because, like, at this point, it's been teased for like a couple years, and then Hollywood got like a little stand thing, like a little museum thing back in the day in 2023. So I was just like, okay, whatever, it's probably not going to come. But yeah, it's finally been announced. I'm excited for all those who are super into FNAF. I'm not that into it. I just love whenever like video game IPs come in. Although I will say I think it's based more on the movie because of the little reel that they had in the map. I don't remember. I haven't looked at the map in a little bit. But yeah, that's officially been announced. I think it was kind of like a rushed announcement because like they it's it took a little bit for them to announce. Like I think it's because like normally we get an announcement like a little bit into May. It's weird that it's an IP that was announced first. Normally the IPs get wait or like they wait until later to announce an IP. But we got FNAF. So I am not lining up first for that one. That can go to other people. I am still going to line up first for Fallout. I have not purchased my what's it called? The fashion fabric. I have not purchased fabric for my Fallout cosplay yet because I want to wait a little bit longer. I'm still trying to save money, you know? And I did take a closer look at Michael's stuff. I think what I want to do is I'm going to wait on the ribbon. If I go out to Lakeland and there Michael's has it, then I'll pick it up. I don't believe I want to go out today because it's very overcast, and with it being overcast, like yeah, it would be really nice, but also that means I'd have to drive in the rain. So I'd rather just stay safe and stay home. I've also been looking at Hirschner's because I'm a yarn fiend, and they have free shipping on orders $60. Oh, I can't do that. Or $4.95 on shipping on orders for 35 plus. They have their annual online warehouse sale right now, and their sparkle yarn on the 9th is coming back in stock. So they would just ship it out once the 9th comes around. That's normally the way it works. I don't know if they'll continue doing that because it keeps on going out of stock. The few colors that I really, really want. I'm looking at the gradient yarns. Oh, no, I didn't want the gradient yarns. It was just their regular worsted weight yarns. And you guys know, I love the Hirschner's yarn. It's $4.47 for a skein of yarn, and it comes in how much? 489 yards. I think that's super affordable. And so I kind of want to get some, but I told myself I wouldn't be buying yarn, especially since like yarn season for me is over for the most part, except for like I'm working on this. It's working out pretty nice. I'm pretty fond of this. Honestly, like the closer I look at it, the more it looks like Witch's Brew, or is it Witch's Brew? No, Goblin from the Hirschner's sparkle yarn. So I think I'm okay with letting go of this like rave yarn because I do really like the Hirschner's yarns, the Hirschner's worsted weight yarns, and it's sparkly. So yeah, I don't know what I want to do at this point. There's another, oh, the berry one is so cute. I still have all that other yarn sitting from Premiere. I think it's Premiere. I don't remember, but it's sitting in my box. But I also want the Neon Lights yarn. I am a big fan of their Neon Lights yarn. The Luminescent Lime would be something I'd pick up. Probably the Outrageous Orange, so I can make more like Halloween themed stuff. I'm most definitely not picking up any of, maybe Electrify. Or is that the one I got? No, yeah, that's the one I got. So I'm not picking up any of like the striped yarns, the self-striping yarns, or whatever it's called. It would just be the solid colors. I can't do it. Like, I need to not do it. But I also, like, I've been waiting on the Hirschners, the Witch's Brew, Goblin, and the Pastel Venom. I don't know. I've been waiting on those to come back in stock for a while. And on the 9th, like I said, is when Goblin and Witch's Brew comes in, and the Pastel Phenom is in stock right now. $5.97 per skein. How much comes in it? 489 yards. I think it's worth it. But I also have so much yarn that I need to go through. I think I have like that pastel colorway right now. I'm not buying any more yarn for like bamboo or cotton for a little bit because I just don't have any use for it. But the pastel colorway that I have, because I have a whole bunch of different colors, I think I might make another skirt just because it like keeps my hands busy for the most part, and then just work it up. This is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. But yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll give it a couple days to sit on it. I think usually on Thursdays is when, like, I don't know what it is. I think it's a fiscal week because like when it comes to businesses like they start their year in like the back end of the year. So like Q1 is always January through March. However, they kind of like do all their roundups in Q4 and they don't really count that towards the whole year, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's been a long time since I've actually had to do anything with business, and like I really don't care anymore because most corporations are greedy and I just don't care to, I mean, I think it's important to learn that stuff to know why and like in which ways these big corporate are greedy. However, I just don't want to pay attention. So, yeah, I don't know why I just started talking about that, but oh yeah, Thursday. I'll give it a couple days. Let's see how long this thing goes. It just says annual online warehouse sale up to 75%. It doesn't give me a date on how long this is going to happen for. So, yeah, like I said, I'll give it a couple of days and then I'll see how I'm feeling after I finish this and then after I start working on the pastel version of this and then yeah. Yeah. Actually, I just remembered that I want to make more of these guys, but in pastel, and then use like the leftover yarn from this, the, what is it called again? Big Twist Twinkle. Yes, Big Twist Twinkle. And then if I have glow in the dark yarn that kind of like coincides with it, like I have a pastel purple, and then I do have a purple and white glow in the dark yarn. So I'll probably do that. Also, I messed up right here. So I forgot to add a double crochet in between. I don't really know how to explain, but there's supposed to be a double crochet. Actually, let me just go back. Maybe it will be a little bit easier to show y'all. But so right here, there's supposed to be a double crochet, but I forgot that. So I did do a quadruple crochet to kind of like hide it. I think all I want to do is a treble crochet for it. So we're going to do 3 loops around. That way I can kind of hide the fact that I missed it, because if I undid the whole entire thing, I'd have to undo all of this times 2 and then go all the way back here. I ain't doing all that work. Barely noticeable. If you can notice it, you're too close to me, back off. That is my saying for anything. If you notice any of my flaws, you are too close, go away. I don't want you near me. This is my art. I'm not selling this one, so that's basically why I don't mind messing up a little bit if it were to be sold. Because, like, this is the one that I made for myself, right? And I did a lot of like wonky configurations trying to remember how to work in the round using like the slip stitch method so that my stitches can like line up. Because like I kind of want to go back and make more striped berets, but like maybe I can make like a rainbow stripe beret. I think I might do that one too. But I want to go and make more stripe berets, but like you can really see where the lines go curve around. And I want to be better about doing the slip stitch method where you slip stitch into the first stitch and then you double crochet, or like you chain 2 and then you continue around to make it pretty, basically. Why did I talk about that? Oh, anyway, yeah. So this is my version, and then I have a copy of this that wasn't quite messed up. It wasn't more experimental or anything. It was basically I know what I'm doing now. And then, yeah, I have that version. It's going to be for sale eventually. I think what I want to do, I might just do like a Halloween release of the stuff that I've made, because like Halloween is a big deal for me. The only thing is, so I won't be home in October, really, because like we have our annual vacation, our anniversary vacation in October. We're going on a cruise, so I definitely won't be at home at all. And then, obviously we have Halloween, but I think my thing is like I normally release stuff. Well, I don't normally, but like I'm a Halloween like shopper ish. Kind of, speaking of, Bath and Body Works just did a leak, and I'm kind of upset because I told myself I wasn't going to buy anything like decor wise, but it's kind of calling my name, and I might just peruse and maybe purchase something. I'll probably buy soaps because I always stock up on soaps in the Halloween time, and I always stock up on like hand sanitizers and like the little Sani pack things, whatever it's called, the thing that holds the sanitizers. I'm really low on sanitizer right now because I haven't bought since last year. It's kind of my like splurge. Every now and then in the winter we'll go out because like my mother-in-law gets us Bath and Body Works gift cards because she knows how much I love the Halloween stuff. Yeah, they've got really cute little items this year. I'm like, gosh darn it. I can't spend money on it. Yeah, so like things are starting to roll along for Halloween. So I think maybe, so give myself 3 months. This quarter is almost over. So at the end of this month, maybe whatever I have, I can put on Etsy. Although Etsy stresses me out because the whole shipping label, all that jazz, that really stresses me out. If you want it for cheaper, go on Ko-fi. I will be putting it on Ko-fi as well because I can just like manually make boxes. That's so much easier on me and my brain. But it takes a lot of work for me to do all the Etsy stuff. I think I will be doing like a July drop. I think that's what I want to do. I gotta take pictures. Oh, by the way, I definitely did not make it into the market, which is fine because I just don't think I was prepared for it. I'm glad that I went through the process of trying to figure out how markets work. Now I know that I need to like do a table setup because that was one of the questions, is like to show off what your table would look like. I don't have that. I have products. I've just never been to a show before. And I think it would benefit me to go to something smaller. And honestly, I remember the last time I went to that show, there were a couple crochet vendors. I think there was at least one. And they take precedent because they've been there before. And I believe they do also sell clothes. They're mostly plushes, but they do sell clothes as well. So I absolutely understand. I think I might still try to go, but it is on the 28th of this month. So maybe I give myself like a $50 limit this time. I don't know, because I feel like that's not enough to support the local artists. I'll talk to my husband, see how he feels about going as well, because I love going to oddities markets. Like, I don't blame them for not accepting me, so please don't think that I blame them. I understand why I wasn't accepted. So, all right, we're gonna continue doing this. I'm watching Haley Knight crochet a shirt for spring. Oh, because it was members first. Okay, that's why. I'm like, what? It's almost summer. What do you? Yeah, it's almost summer. All right, getting back to this. I can't believe it, but I beat Yarn Chicken with this much to go. It's just enough to sew up my edge after cutting it off, so that's pretty neat too. I do need to like do more filming and then like film like kind of like an outro or something. Basically saying work it up as far as you want to go. I still have 2 skeins left, one that I'm saving forever, and then one that I'm going to maybe make a beret out of. I don't know. But this is what it looks like so far. It's like 2 3/4 of a skein. Ooh. Oh, this is very flowy. Oh, I love the way that this drapes. Very nice. Very, very nice. So I'm going to probably work this up later. I am kind of tired just because, like, I don't know, my schedule's been wonky and I want to take a break and, you know, rest up. I'm probably going to doom scroll on TikTok for a little bit just because like I don't know what else to do with my free time. My hands are starting to get like more pain. I don't know how else to explain. I'm getting old and my crafts are catching up to me and I need to rest up. But like I don't watch movies. I don't have any streaming services. The only streaming services that I pay for are YouTube, and I don't really go to YouTube to watch movies. I go on there to watch other alternative people talk about being alternative or DIYing or just making clothes. A lot of times Minecraft and theme park stuff. And I don't want to just like I have to do something while I am actively watching something. And I hate that I'm addicted to TikTok. And I want to stop being addicted to TikTok, but like, I don't know. I've been addicted to it for like the past 4.5, 5 years. Oh, it's so annoying. What else do I do? Like, I don't. So, all right, break time, maybe eat some food. Then we're going to go finish that. And then I think I'm just going to sew up a whole bunch of my old projects because I have this one sitting. Oops, sorry. I have this one sitting here that's been meaning to be sewn up for a while. And then I also have this one sitting here that I need to sew up. And obviously I have this skirt that needs to be sewn up. I have 3 pattern testers working on the assembly portion. I haven't asked them how it went. One of them just messaged me this morning and I was like, okay, let's get that all sent out. I did have somebody ask me if they can change the yarn and change their hook size. I was okay with the hook size. I was not okay with the yarn. So unfortunately, I didn't kick them out of the group. I was just like, feel free to work on it, but I'm just not going to really take any advice that you give me because I specifically made this in yarn 3 weight and not yarn 4 weight. The drape's going to be completely different. It's just not going to work out the same. I've worked with yarns for so long and I tried to do other patterns. Like it's not, so I think the thing is plushie makers, they can take a yarn or like a pattern from acrylic yarn and move it into plush yarns or even smaller yarns and it still works out. But clothing is not the same way. I mean, with clothing, there's a certain gauge that you have to do with it, whereas plushies, you don't really care for the gauge. You just care if it like builds up, you know? And yeah, I understand where they're coming from and I get it, but it's just not going to work out. So, all right, this pattern, really sad to say, I don't think that it's going to be fully developed and tested, but I have like my pattern testers right now have been, or the most active ones have been like correcting me in my verbiage and like pictures and all that, which is really nice. So I think it should be okay. It's just that all the sizes aren't going to be tested. And like, I mean, to be fair, my last one, not all the sizes were tested on that one either. So, all right, break time. Good morning. It's actually morning. I'm in the middle of watching a video of somebody's at-home discoveries. They have their Halloween stuff out, and I saw a shower curtain in there. I don't know if it's cloth or not. They kind of just brush past it. But I've been wanting to make my own like little rain jacket for a while, and I think that would be like a really fun thing to do is taking a what's it like a PVC or plastic shower curtain, whatever, or tablecloth, and then piece that together. Probably not going to be the best quality ever, but it's usually water resistant, and that's kind of what I want. It does rain a lot down here in Florida, so I think that would be really fun, especially since I'm like getting back into the whole what's it sewing thing. Oh, I could probably make lining, and maybe that would help me keep me dry because, like, when you puncture a clothing item, that gives it like a little bit of it gives it makes it a little bit porous, right? So I'll probably not be able to keep my arms dry, but at least my torso will be dry if I make one. I have a couple patterns I could pull from to make this rain jacket. We're not planning on leaving the house today. I do have my hair done because I do plan on leaving the house tomorrow. There's this really cute little antique store out in Winter Haven, and they do Halloween things. I've never been in October. However, they have like year round Halloween, like blow molds in their shop. I think it's separated by vendors, kind of. And I want to take a look. I want to go out there again. It's been a couple years since I've been out there, and I just want to go. And it's one of those antique stores where you have to keep your backpack in your car, or there's like a locker in the very front where you can just lock your backpack in the front. I found really cool vintage patterns, sewing patterns out there, and it'd be nice if I found some more. On top of that, I found really good quality vintage clothes out there, and it's pretty reasonably priced. Like, it's one of those, like, I saw this somewhere online, and I think it was on TikTok or either TikTok or Reddit. But if you go to like not Depop, people are comparing Depop to like eBay and not Etsy, but like other, I don't know, reselling stores. Depop is pretty populated by a lot of younger people, whereas eBay is has been around since I was still in high school. So it's pretty populated by older people, and older people value their vintage stuff at a kind of lower price than younger people do. And that's kind of the feel and vibe I get from this store out in Winter Haven. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. I'll show you guys tomorrow. I'll probably do a little bit of vlogging in there because it's usually pretty quiet, and I plan on going on a Wednesday, so it will be pretty quiet. I know it's summer vacation, so it might not be that quiet, but typically I don't see people going there on normal days anyways. It's been a long time since I've been though, so hopefully it's still open. But right now I am working on piecing together another web in the breeze. I'm almost done. I just gotta it's really hard to show you guys because it's so like open, but I'm almost done with this. After I finish this, I'm probably going to piece together my last Zero Stratus top. I'm hoping either to wear that tomorrow or wearing the skirt tomorrow. I kind of want to wear the skirt tomorrow, to be honest, just because like I haven't worn a skirt like that in a while. But also, for me to do that, I have to go finish recording what I was doing. I really, really love the drape of it. It might be a little bit warm for it, but since I'm planning on pretty much staying inside, it won't feel too bad, I feel like. That vintage shop is kept pretty cool because of how much vintage stuff is in there. It typically rains when I go there, so it'll be a little bit cooler. So, all right, just updating y'all. I forgot I was going to mention like how the HHN announcement happened yesterday, or not yesterday, it happened a couple days ago. But so there was a Blumhouse panel in Mexico, and it was loud and clear. They just dropped that FNAF was coming out. And like, I think there was supposed to be like a special announcement, a special way to announce that the house was coming. It was just like kind of haphazardly put together, like, yes, more to come, because it was just randomly dropped on us through a panel in Mexico. So I'm doing a lot of catching up with HHN right now because, you know, it's the season and I'm thinking about Halloween 24/7 right now. But also, I thought of a story, and this is off topic, but I'm just remembering things that I wanted to tell y'all while I was taking a shower yesterday. The other day, when I went to take my sister in law to an appointment, one of the doctors, I suppose, or the nurses, one of the people that worked at the facilitators, one of the facilitators walked by because my sister in law also crochets, and she crocheted a baby blanket and another thing or two for one of the facilitators' pregnancy, I believe. I don't know, but she made something, brought a box over to her, and while I was waiting in for 2 hours, I was crocheting as well. And one of the facilitators walked by. I was like, "Do you and your sister in law knit together?" And I was like, I didn't feel like correcting her because I was just like in the moment and just like trying to pump out as many scrunchies as I could to see if how many I could make in 2 hours. But also, I was like, I don't really know how to say what I'm thinking because like we don't. Sorry, Discord's being kind of weird. It keeps on blacking out on me for some reason. But we don't crochet together because like neither of us have like time to crochet together. But also like we have different styles of crochet. So I crochet clothes, whereas she crochets plushes, and like both of us kind of do blankets. Her more so than I, but yeah, that's kind of where our line is. And I think a lot of people just don't know that much about the fiber arts. And I keep on reiterating this, but just because you're not good at making plushes doesn't mean you're not good at making clothes, and vice versa. My sister-in-law and I like have deeply discussed how she has the patience for plushes, and I'm like, I just can't do it because like I have to like keep on looking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And she's like, well, I have this paper here. I'm like, yeah, but I'm still doing the have to focus, look at the paper, get back over here, look at this, look, 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 look. Whereas with clothes, most of the times it's just the same pattern over and over and over again until it's the desired length. I can just turn my brain off. It's a lot like making blankets, just less work. So yeah, it's kind of funny to see like the differences. Like it's the same thing as like between quilt makers and clothing makers and purse makers, bag makers, plush makers for the sewing world. So I don't work with knit fabrics. What the lady at work, she does, and she's like, you know, it'd be so easy to work with, and I promise you'd love working with knit fabrics. I'm like, I've tried, I really have, but it's just not for me. I love working with cotton fabrics. I love working with like more glittery fabrics for the most part. That one's kind of knit in a way, but like it doesn't like, I don't know. There's a specific glitter fabric that I've worked with multiple times, and that one kind of like lines up really well, if that makes sense. But like, yeah, like both of us work differently, even though we both make clothes. She makes children's clothes, and I make clothes for myself. I don't think she's ever made clothes for herself. She mostly sews for her grandchildren, and it's the cutest thing. Like, I think that's something about the arts, the fiber crafts. Like for the longest time, I didn't call myself a fiber artist because I was just sewing. And like, to be honest, I still just follow patterns when it comes to sewing. But like at the end of the day, I'm Frankensteining them, doing something artistically, and like seeing something and be like, oh, that would look good in this color. And like, yeah, that's, yeah. I don't know. I'm going on a tangent, but hey, good morning, afternoon, whatever time it is. It's raining outside, so I thought it'd be the perfect time to like give you guys a little cozy update. I am currently working on the belt portion of my skirt. I have this all sewn up right here. It does look a little bit weird at the sewn up part because I didn't work in round right here. But, you know, it's fine. I plan on probably putting some stars. I have some of the crochet stars I made out of the lime green bamboo yarn. And, like, having them hang so it kind of distracts. Ooh, I don't think I like that color. Alright, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. So, right now I'm working on the belt using the Bernat Baby Velvet. And I'm hoping to finish this by the next few hours, couple hours, hopefully less than that, because this is just a foundation single crochet stitch, and then having to like weave it in and out. I do have to record that part as well, but after that, it's done. And then all I had to do is like take videos of the outfit. I did kind of want to leave the house, but at this point, because it's raining, I don't know if I want to. I really want to go thrifting. I just like get my legs a stretch because we didn't go out anywhere yesterday. And like I'm off this entire weekend. I think I might actually work on Sunday. I hope I work on Sunday. That'd be nice. I know that I wasn't given any shifts this weekend, which really sucks because like it's busy time. And I don't understand why, but all right, we're going to continue working on this until it is time to leave the house. Maybe. I have other things that I finished too, but I want to focus on this and then I'll show you guys what else I finished. The worst thing about being at the very end of your project is knowing that you're at the very end of your project, so you don't want to finish it. So I'm taking a break so I can eat a little bit of noodles. What else? And watch my favorite live streamer, Jolene, live stream. We're talking about just like hyper, I don't know how you would call it, but basically things that like people hyperinflate the value of, specifically Labubus, but we also got into the topic of like Beanie Babies and how this is like the simpler generation. I am a fan of Labubu. I think they're kind of cute. They definitely fall under my pastel goth aesthetic, like kind of deal. They would have done numbers in the scene era. Like I think that's one of the reasons why it's become more popular is just like it's one of those things, you know? But like it's definitely one of those, and I didn't think about this until she mentioned it, but people are looking for alternative ways to make money, and by doing so they're scalping things and trying to make money off of that because there is a lot of financial insecurities. Some people are buying it on their credit cards to flip it, and that's what's going on. And I never thought of it that way, but that's such a good point because it's the same thing for like, I don't know if y'all remember, but back in the day in 2020, when COVID first hit, there were people out there just buying up the supplies of toilet paper and hand sanitizer so they could flip it and sell it for themselves at a higher price, which is illegal, by the way. And same with gas. Like gas, sometimes you'll see prices like be hyperinflated, and that's illegal. If there's a like an emergency, like if there's a hurricane, you can what your price is set at is where it has to stay. If your price goes up during a hurricane, you can get in legal trouble. I don't know nowadays because like let's not get too political out here. I say this every week, but I always end up getting a little bit political, but like things might be changing, which is not for the best. But yeah, I'm going to take a break and then we'll get back to it. I think I'm going to start on a beret while I'm waiting. I have all this yarn. Okay, so I was thinking about making this into a blanket. I don't like that it's two different colors. So I might just make this into a couple berets. I have a bunch of yarn to use because of it. I don't know. I'll let it sit for a little bit because I still kind of love the idea of having like a starry night blanket. I do have all that yarn inside my box. I did organize them. I don't know if I turned off the light because I accidentally unplugged it, but this like box down here, I have all these colors kind of arranged. So you can kind of see that I'm trying to do like rainbow order, Roy G. Biv. I don't have an orange color in there, but that's kind of what I want to use or utilize, I believe. Maybe. I don't know. We'll think about it. I do have more yarns inside my little drawer next to my computer, so I will probably use those first. So All right, break time. Before break time, I did finish another Web in the Breeze. It's a lot shorter, and I don't feel like putting it on right now because I just don't feel like doing anything. But this is it. I still need to talk to my best friend and see how she felt about wearing her Web in the Breeze top. I love that I have friends that I can just dump projects on when I don't like wearing them. It's the best. So, yeah, actual for realsies break time. I think my email address got leaked because I keep on getting these weird emails about confirmation about a meeting and stuff like that. And it's like, do I look like somebody that has meetings with other people? I don't know where these emails are coming from, but all right. So I took a long enough break. I did start on the beret. It's in the other room. I don't feel like picking it up. I think another reason why I'm like struggling, I've been on a journey to get myself to stop taking like drinking energy drinks. And I, for like the last month or two, have been drinking like half of an energy drink. Hello. And over the last week or so, I've been doing no energy drink, like maybe half an energy drink every 2 days. And boy, am I sleepy. I've been addicted to energy drinks since, ooh, I don't know how long I've been addicted, at least 5 years. And I know I was addicted to coffee for a little bit there too, especially when I was in college. Before that, like, I don't think I had energy drinks as a high schooler. I know it's like a big thing with like the scene alt emo community to have had monsters, but they didn't make good flavors back then. Back then, it was just like the white monster, or it was the, what was it, the normal green can monster. I hated those flavors. It smelled like medicine to me, so I never drank them or consumed them. And then one day my husband came home, my then boyfriend, he came to the apartment and gave me a taste of one of his Red Bulls, and it was a flavored Red Bull. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Oh no, I think it was before we started dating. Um, they had like the purple monsters in store, purple and orange, I want to say, maybe green, but those were so good. And I think probably around then is when I started getting addicted to them, but I didn't have the money to be addicted to them, so I like was just really into coffee and caffeine in general. Like I've always kind of had a caffeine addiction, and I think that's pretty normal as an American. We're all like, it's in our blood to drink soda. I don't drink soda anymore. It's just like one of those special treat things, and even then I'll drink like half a bottle if that. And usually if I'm drinking out of the can, it's like maybe I never finish my drinks. That was what I'm trying to say. So, anyways, I'm on a journey to quit drinking energy drinks, and because of that, I've been more tired lately. I don't think I work a physically demanding enough job to warrant drinking as many energy drinks as I had been drinking. My husband, I don't think that's something that he's willing to kick, and I'm not going to like try to force him to kick it, but like I'm trying to be more health conscious lately because like I'm only getting older, my body's only getting more frail, and I want to do what I can to like prevent it from getting more sick. But I think it's also affecting my mood because I I can feel myself being more tired and wanting to go lay down more, and I I feel my back getting more tired more often. I think that's due to old age, but I can feel myself just like not feeling happy, and maybe that's what's going on. But I I think I told you guys before I took my break. I decided on not going out today. It was storming pretty much all day, and I just don't feel like leaving. I do have a couple tasks that I want to do while I'm out there. Now it's way too late to leave. I could probably run up to like Michael's, but I really don't want to go to Michael's because I'm going to end up spending money, and I'm not about to spend any money. I don't want to drive all the way out to Lakeland or Winter Haven. I mean, there is an opportunity for me to pick up more medication in Winter Haven, but like also, I kind of want to get dressed. Like, I kind of want to take a shower, and even though it's going to be really late, I want to get take a shower, get some makeup on, do my hair because I fixed my hair 2 days ago, you know? So why not take advantage of it being all up and proper? And then that way I can have like do an outfit thing today maybe do an outfit thing tomorrow because I plan on maybe, hopefully, leaving the house after I finish editing, but Lord knows that I probably won't. And then Friday, like I have this whole weekend. I may go out to a night market, but I'm not sure. I'm a little bit nervous too because like it's at a bar and I don't want to feel pressured to drink. And then on top of that, like I kind of know somebody there and I don't know if it's a good idea. Like I've never met somebody well, okay. I met my husband through a dating app, so that's kind of different. And then like one of his good friends, I met him through Discord. So like yes, I've met people from the internet, but usually I'm like kind of closer friends with them. And so like I don't know. It's just one of those I'm just nervous. I want to go out and make friends, but I'm just a nervous wreck. I'm going to stop talking about this before I start getting really emotional about it because I do this every single week and I'm sure y'all are tired about hearing about this. So we're going to take a pause. Well, from recording. Because I need to have something in the background to help me focus on this. I already forgot how many I did. But we got 2 of these done. 1, 2, working on the 3rd, and then I have 1 more to do after that. And then when I'm done with that, I'm going to have it go through the loops up here. Where are they? These loops. So there's going to be 2 of them. And then this will officially be done. And that way I can wear it. If I so choose to leave the house, I can wear it. I don't think I will be leaving the house, but if I so choose, it's an option. And if anything, it's an option to wear any other time. I will show you guys the beret once I finish getting ready, I believe. Yeah, I think I'm going to finish the recording, and then show you how far I've gotten on the beret, which is just like any other beret. It's going to be one of the spiderweb ones, just like this one over here, except for I'm using Big Twist in hot pink, and it's going to be the twinkle. I want more of the twinkle yarn, but it's gone forever until Hirschner's decides on what they want to bring over. I am going to use black yarn for the spider webs though. So, and then maybe I'll get around to actually writing it all out on whatever Canva and then posting that, sending it out to my mutual and another mutual. I think I went over my head. To help me get through this, I've been watching Avid MC. He puts on long streams and it's kind of relaxing. There's a lot of us crocheters that watch Avid while crocheting. I'm glad I'm not the only one. He was mentioning like how he was like speed running like the cis heteronormative life, and I did that. I was down that road. It wasn't until 2020, 2021 where I realized I don't want to live this life. Like, honestly, I was doing the thing where you try to work up in life, try to become like manager, executive, blah, 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 all the way up, try to make as much money as you can because that's what's expected of you. And that's not who I am. Like, I work a job currently, and now that I know that I'm ADHD, I know that I can't do what I used to do, and I've completely burned myself out of what I used to do. I work a job and I don't give my 100%. It's not that I do bare minimum, but I clock in, I show up, I do like the normal thing you're supposed to do, like at least like a little bit more than bare minimum, enough to like not question whether I should be fired or not. I show up on time, sometimes early, but most times it's like literally right on time. I get to work early. Don't get me wrong. I get to work early. I just don't clock in until it's absolutely necessary for me to clock in without getting in trouble. And like granted, I do work like a glorified retail job, and I also like I'm not always behind the register. I'm often like doing stocking roles where I'm just like bringing stuff upstairs and all that jazz. But like I don't put myself out there to try and move up in the world anymore. It's not for me. It's not for everyone. And I hate that we were like taught that that needs to be what we do. He specifically mentioned like doing the white picket fence, having children, being married, all that jazz. I think he's also late in realizing that, well, I know he's late diagnosed ADHD, just like me. I think he's also late in realizing in his queerness. I don't know. It's weird to say queer because like I had this discussion with my husband the other day. Like being queer is gay, but being gay is not queer. I would say that I'm queer, but I think in definition of being queer is like just not falling for the heteronormative things like having a family. I don't want a family. I don't want to pass on my genetics. Are you kidding me? They're pretty awful. I don't want to pass on like the CPTSD that I've had. I don't think I'm not fit to be a parent. My parents weren't fit to be parents. I know I'm not fit to be a parent because I went through all that trauma of growing up the way that I did. And I don't know how to not bring that up, you know? And I think it's makes me queer to not want that. I'm also queer in the fact that I'm ace, and I'm also queer in the fact that I'm panromantic, as in like I really don't care what gender you are. If you have a good vibe, I'm going to probably like, I mean, not now. I mean, I'm obviously married, but like if I were single and I was looking for a partner, like that's one of those, like, I don't, you know, it's, it's hard to talk about it as somebody who was late realizing that they're queer. And I'm thinking about it more because it's Pride Month. And it's hard to not think about how much your life has changed since learning about your neurodiversity, which honestly, there's a lot of us who are neurodiverse in the queer community. And I feel most welcome there because we've grown up thinking the worst of ourselves. So anyways, it was just really interesting hearing him talk about that as somebody who went through like the normal life thing where you had to build the ladder and keep on working your way up, go up the executive ladder. I feel like I had a pretty cushy job, cushy as in like I didn't have to worry about bills as much. Now I'm like scared, but I think my worry of bills back then were way less. I feel like I fell under the capitalism order very well because at that time too I wasn't able to display my creativity. At the time I was like yearning to get back into music. Nowadays I can just pick up my piano whenever I want. I haven't played since last week, but maybe I will again. Like who knows? I am proud of myself for picking it back up so quickly without like having practiced like transcribing since 2016. It's odd being a creative person having to live that heteronormative life and realizing that that's not you when you're in your late 20s. And I'm glad that I found out now as opposed to like my 50s or 60s. But man, I'm glad I'm not alone in that. Here we are. Here's the outfit. Well, here's the skirt, the most important part. Let me back up. I love the flow. I love the drape. Let me get you guys at a better angle. There's like no space in here. Come on. Okay, maybe that's better. The drape. Look at it go. The flow. Big fan. I love it. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I do, but I do. Here is the beret I was working on. I didn't get very far. I ate a little bit of food after I got ready or after I got clothes on because like I was kind of hungry. And also there's something else I was working on. Oh, yeah. So the other day I was telling y'all, I cut the neck of my shirt. I've been like really into cutting necklines because like, I don't know. I feel like it might be a sensory thing, but also it looks better to me. I don't like the way that necks look when they're like, I feel like I'm choking. It might be a sensory thing. So kind of giving late 80s, early 90s TV, whatever. I was talking about this a couple days ago, and I have the drawings from when I was like rough sketching. a like possible dress, and this is pretty much what I want to do. Like, I kind of want to take these ruffles, right, on the bottom of a skirt. That'd be so pretty, right? And then on the inside, since I already have that skirt made, for the most part, it just doesn't have a waistband, I'll just attach it under, and then this could be like curtain, or not curtain, but bed sheet. And like, I don't know if I want to make this a separate or not. I don't think I want to do the bow, but I do like the square neckline. I had to find a square neck that I like better, that's not super stiff. And then I'm going to use sleeves of another outfit that I have. But yeah, I kind of want to do this coming up soon. Really don't know how else to explain what I'm doing. I don't think I'll have enough to do, because I think it would be cute to have the ruffles down here, ruffles right here, and ruffles around the neckline. That one's going to be hard to figure out because there's like some wiggling I got to do, so maybe not. But yeah, I think it'd be really cute to have a bunch of ruffles everywhere. All right, I'm going to take a break again because I don't know. I just don't want to be awake right now. Good morning. We are at the part where I just kind of wrap up everything that I've done. I have done, well, okay, before I start talking about that, Fallout was just announced as a house. We knew it was coming. I didn't think that was what's going to be the first thing that's announced. So in my Michael's cart, I have how much? 54.45 worth of products in there. So I'm going to get 3 yards of Kona cotton quilting fabric in the colorway Ocean, and then 1 yard of Kona cotton quilting fabric in Citrus. It looks yellow on the screen. A little bit nervous that it's going to actually come in orange. Hopefully not, but I kind of want to do it. So the goal is with that. Actually, I'll wait until the next video to talk to you guys about that. But it's in my cart. I haven't purchased it yet because I am just going to wait a little bit on purchasing it, because I wasn't expecting them to announce this. I was expecting like a non-IP. So anyways, going back to what all we finished this week. So we got a little bit of sewing done with my bodice piece for a Sewjo Stratus top. Probably the last one I'll be making for a while before I start like wanting more colorways. But the last one I have for a while. I didn't get around to doing other sewing, but for this one at least. But that should be quickly coming to an end. I'm hoping to get it done within the next week and a half, so I can like wear it for like a, hey, release day, you know, type of deal. And then I'm taking a break from making patterns for a long time, at least tested patterns, because I socially and mentally can't handle it. And I am okay with realizing that it's one of those, I have to be mentally prepared for a while. And I think I kind of pushed myself with that. So anyways, going back, we also finished another Web in the Breeze top. It's sitting over there, but you guys already saw it. Did I show it? Yeah, I already showed y'all. And then on top of that, we finished the skirt that I wore yesterday. I was kind of thinking about wearing it today, but like also I kind of like doing an outfit of the day video. This is the outfit I'm wearing today so far. Just pants and a shirt that I chopped off the neck of, as per usual. I don't know what I want to do for outfit of the day, or if I'm even going to film an outfit of the day, because I'm actually going to leave the house today. I'm going to pick up some medication. I don't know if I want to go like thrifting or vintage shopping right now, because it is a very expensive cart for my Fallout cosplay. And I am working kind of like one less week this week. So maybe not a good idea. But I also have a lot of time before the Fallout cosplay needs to be done. It's not a cosplay. It's a kind of like inspired outfit. So I can't talk about it now. I'm going to talk about it next week, tomorrow, or later today for me. But it's coming. So, and then also we've gotten this far on my beret. I almost knocked down all of my darn things, and I would have been really upset with myself. But this is almost done. I don't think I'm going to keep this one because I have a lot of hot pink in my inventory. I think I have a hot pink beret already, maybe. I don't know. I do have quite a bit of yarn. Quite a bit of this hot pink twinkle yarn left. Not enough for another beret, but yeah, we did get a few things done. I showed you all the drawing of a possible project coming up. I do have fabric. Let me show you guys, because I'll talk a little bit about like future-ish projects, just because like I'm kind of getting back into the sewing mode, and I think that's one of the reasons why I want to get away from like making crochet patterns. Hold on, I gotta let my doggy out. Well, actually, while we're out here, I have some fungi growing there. I don't know why, but they're growing. My cotton plants are doing very, very well. I think they're getting overwatered, to be honest. It's been raining a lot lately. These ones are doing well too. So I do need to repot them. This guy right here, I don't know why he's like drooping so much. I think he's just being overwatered, the hibiscus right here. So I gotta check in on that and like figure out why it's drooping. But everybody else is doing well. But let me go back inside and show you guys the fabric I plan on working with for the project of the drawing that I was talking about. I have had this fabric in my inventory for so long, since I started crochet or sewing, I believe. I've had it in here for a very, very long time. I've also had this fabric in here for a very, very long time. I don't think I want to work with this one yet, but I think for like the overcoat part, because I'm kind of like, I've been inspired by like the a la robe anglaise. I don't know what it's called. It's too fancy for me. It's one of the like Edwardian, Victorian style dresses where it's basically like you have a skirt down here, right? And then over it is like another kind of like very decorated skirt. That's the plan. So I'm going to probably use this fabric. It's been sitting here forever. I do have other fabrics in this pile down here. I don't think there's anything down here that I want to work with yet. But with the Fallout one, by the way, let me talk a little bit about it because I'm so excited. I'm so stinking excited. The plan is to make like a bolero and then just a skirt, like a dress rather. And the dress is probably going to be that blue, and then the trim is going to be yellow. I'm going to have to make my own, what's it called, bias tape, which is going to suck, but it is what it is. It's fashion, and I have to learn how to do that by myself and be willing to do it by myself, especially in this time and era when Joann is closed forever. There was like a little blurb somewhere about like Joann having plans on their website. I don't know what's going on with that. It's not my business. Until something comes in out of that, I won't really speculate on it. It's not my job to. It's not my business to. There's a lot of creators out there that are actually into doing that kind of like reporting. So anyways, I need to work on bias tape. I need to get that thread fabric, and I have time, but I have time. So I will be working on Fallout costume soon. Before that, I'm going to probably work on this little drawing that I showed y'all. Oh, I didn't really show you guys these ones. Maybe I'll make it a two-piece. I don't know. It's all up in the air right now. So, all right, I'm going to get you guys all set up. I'm probably going to leave this house as soon as I finish editing this and start the uploading process. And then, yeah, I'll see y'all later today for me, but next week for y'all. Bye-bye.